Okay, guys, so it's that time of week, our weekly match chat on video as well as on audio. So if you're listening to this on the podcast, do go check out the YouTube channel. Little plug there. So you can watch us visually as well as listening to us.
Indeed.
All the delights.
A feast for the eyes, right?
Sensory overload. So what have you been up to then? You're not in a hotel. I can see that.
No, I'm back home, sadly. Yeah, I did, I did my little hotel break. That was quite nice. And now I'm back doing the usual, so online stuff, teaching people how to set up the online stuff, traveling in the country, doing seminars, just my kind of standard stuff now.
Did you finish your book?
No.
Did you nearly finish your book?
No. Because every time I write something, it's kind of like, oh, I could add that, I could add this, I could add that, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So at some point, I've got to stop. But we'll see how it goes. I'll get it done soon.
Good. Oh well, I know. You had a nice break at least, and
I did. It was the first day of like a bit of decent sunshine, so it's good. Good to be out in the sun, chilling out and drinking beer.
Cool. So, what do you want to go through this week?
But we talk about continual professional development in the martial arts industry, because
does that happen?
Well, that's what I was going to ask. Because we kind of spend a lot of time training and leading up to our black belts and get our black belts and maybe stop learning, and stop pushing ourselves, and maybe we don't look outside of our own industry for new concepts and ideas and all of that. So I decided that I needed to get up to date with my sort of sports science in terms of what I was doing, because I came from an old school background, probably like you, lots of bouncy stretches and holding a horse stance for a day. And I decided that maybe that wasn't the most current, up-to-date thinking on training. So I went and did a degree in London, in East London, on sports science, and I learned loads, and that really elevated my ability to teach, and I just had some backing of science behind it. So I kind of wonder if that's common in the martial arts industry, and does it need to be encouraged?
Yes. Yeah, it really isn't common, and from my perspective, maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's changed recently, but I came from that sort of background of not that I'm saying it's right. Well, no, it is wrong. I suppose it is in today's industry. But I was teaching in the class. Training in the class. Boom, 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 and then next minute, Chris will teach. Hey, oh. Okay. Now I'm teaching. Okay. That was my instructor training.
1 minute you're not, and then next minute you are.
Yeah, literally, and it was in some ways it was good. They were incredible. Well, there was a lot of luck involved that I kind of got to grips with it pretty quick. And went out of my own way to do additional learning. But that could have backfired. That could have gone horrific, and I'm sure it does for some people, and has done for some people as well. Just ramming the next, decent looking student in the front. But obviously, as we all know, you can be the best kicker and puncher and fighter in the world, but it doesn't make you an instructor.
No, and that's what I found in my school. At one point, I had kind of like an instructor training program where I would. It wasn't really like an official instructor training program. We just used to chuck people out in front of the class, right? And it was fight, flight, or freeze, really. Like people would be like, and some people would freeze, and that would traumatize them, and they never want to do it again. And some would look like they wanted to run, which obviously didn't make a good experience for people there. So I think there needs to be a bit more of a structured learning process in martial arts in general, especially if you want to be an instructor. So you probably want to look at, studying anatomy, physiology, studying how to stretch correctly, how the body works, fitness and all the various elements of fitness, communication, bullying, nutrition at a high level, because all of these things are kind of what's really important nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a big old area, isn't it, to get your education up?
Yeah, it is. And I think the problem with it is it's because it's completely self-regulated industry. It's kind of it's left up to the individuals, isn't it, to decide how much time they want to put into it. And I've been making a lot of time recently to learn a little bit more about things like you've just been saying, and it is important. And it's a shame that maybe there's an idea for somebody out there now that's listening or watching. It'd be good to have sort of a central hub for people to go to, and maybe a website with a, not a requirement, so to speak, but more. Have you considered this, and this, and
yes.
maybe an online course, and once you, and once you get to the end of it, it prints you out a little piece of paper you can, because instructors love certificates.
We do, don't we? Yeah.
And I've completed this course in instructor competency or whatever, and whack it on the wall.
We're joking about it, but it might not be a bad idea, because there are some shocking levels out there, of what people know and what they believe. Maybe they're thinking about stretching, for example, is 25 years out of date, and so I think there's definite need for a higher level of sort of educational training for martial arts instructors. But like you say, it's totally unregulated, and probably that most people are too busy kicking and punching each other. They don't want to learn this type of stuff. But in my opinion, it makes you a better instructor, makes you more competent, and makes you more able to teach different types of people, and just improves your levels like so many times. So I think it's definitely worth investigating.
Yeah, I think as well that the people that we're working with, so the clients we're working with, the parents we're working with now, are a lot more savvy as to the ins and outs of sort of the wider spectrum of regulations and stuff. In the old, like 10 years ago, parents would sit in reception and they'd have a good moan about stuff. But I'll give you an example. Last week, we over our half-term period and our holidays, we alter our timetables slightly. One, because it's a good excuse for us to get all the kids training together across all the grades.
Yeah.
And two, because of the area that we're in, the majority of our students clear off to like the south of France and their second house in Spain. So the class sizes just disappear.
Yeah.
And it's always been like that the whole 16 years. So we modify the timetable so that we don't end up with 3 in the beginners class, 3 in the intermediate class, 2 in the advanced. We have all the kids in one class together, and it's a really cool atmosphere. Except for last Monday, we had 22 kids turn up, which to some clubs they go, well, that's nothing. But because the parents here have got used to a big class for us being, say, 12, there was 3 parents in reception. You heard them going, his ratios aren't right. There's not enough, and I'm like,
what the
hell? And they were on the phones. Yes, the NSPCC state that you should have 1 adult to every 8 kids, and I'm like, okay, so So parents and people are a little bit more up on this sort of thing now, and especially with social media, and they get on these mums groups, as I call them. I shouldn't call them that really, and they all start comparing notes and going, oh yeah, my Jimmy does this at his school, and oh no, they do this, and
yeah, that's right. I
think it pays to be a little bit now. As it would happen, I already knew the requirements, and I knew that they're not sort of requirements; they're more. We suggest that. We suggest that. And look, we were supposed to have. There was myself, and there was one of our senior assistants. He's 16. He's been with us since he was tiny, and he's absolutely fine. We were supposed to have another adult assistant in, but he was ill. And I didn't know 21 kids were going to turn up.
No,
this guy didn't know he was going to be ill until a few hours before class. So what was I going to do? They were coming in, going, "No kids." Clear off.
Well, you can say to the parents, "Oh yeah, you're right. The ratio's off. Out you go. Yes. You're all out. Goodbye."
But yeah, back to the point. I think it's important now that as instructors that we start to realise that parents are a little bit more savvy as to the rights and the requirements. And gone are the days where you can just rock up at the church hall and go, "Insurance? Yeah, no, DBS."
Where did I do that?
Because people are starting to
they are
to ask and and use this sort of stuff against schools,
Well, it's part of your duty of care to be as well trained as possible, right? And to um, be educated about the various things that you need to, because we all give like advice on nutrition to our students,
Yeah.
but we're not dietitians, and we really shouldn't, unless we really get a high level of training in that sort of area. And you want to look at every sort of thing that you do throughout the week, and make sure you got the most up to date and current content on it. And that also goes for like business and marketing as well. Like a lot of instructors are still doing flyers once every 6 months and expecting a flood of people. Some instructors I know are still doing Yellow Pages ads.
Is that even still a thing?
Well, it is. It's really thin now. Remember when the Yellow Pages used to be like that?
It's literally Yellow Pages.
It is like 20 Yellow Pages. And I'm like, oh man, come on. Like, you need to update your marketing, business knowledge, and everything that goes with that. And it's the transition between the generations, isn't it? The older generation of martial arts instructors are starting to come to the end of it, and the new generation are coming through and understand social media and all of that, and they're pushing it. But it's just that transition period. In 20 years' time, no one's going to be doing Yellow Pages. They're just going to be doing Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, and all of that sort of stuff. Messenger bots and all the crazy things we got nowadays.
Messenger bots and all that. That's something I've never got my head around. I kind of understand its value, just never quite got to grips with it. And that's something I should try maybe.
They're really easy to use and really, really good. And they just allow you to automate like inquiries that come in. And what you do is you kind of build a list of people on Messenger. And the reason why you want to use a bot or Messenger bots is you can get a list of subscribers and then send them messages when you want, advertising whatever you want, and you get 90% open rates.
Wow.
So it means, if you've got 100 people on your Messenger bot list and you send them an advert about your school or about a course you're running or about whatever, 90% of those people will open that message and look at it, which is crazy.
It is.
So use ManyChat because it's the kind of market leader and it's free for your first subscribers. Try it out. It's pretty easy to use.
I will give that a go and see how it goes. I'm going to write that down on my little bit of paper in front of me here. I think I've used that before, actually.
Just another like string to your marketing bow. You've got your core ones, but if you add ManyChat, it's just an extra way of finding people, reaching people, and because people actually still open their messages on Messenger, you can just get in contact with people a lot easier. It's really good.
Yeah, I find that when that little ping goes off, you've got to look.
Yeah. As opposed to like an email, which you kind of just go, meh, and you just leave it in your email box to accumulate, right? We're still used to opening messages and all of that sort of stuff. So
yeah, the Facebook message ping is like, ooh. The email noise is like, oh.
Yeah, and that's what
happens. It's going to
be
an invoice or it's going to be somebody moaning, because people don't moan on Messenger, they moan on email.
So it's going to be a cycle, and eventually Messenger is going to run out and we're not going to bother to open the pings anymore, Messenger, and it'll be the next thing. But right now, where it's really kind of hot, you want to get on it.
Cool, I'm going to do that. Oh,
you're tired.
Holidays, where kids wearing me out. I noticed on social media you've got a super seminar coming up very soon. I see.
Yeah, in London. Well, actually Stansted, but close enough to London. It's London, and it's within the M25. I like doing this seminar once a year where I just invite people from around the UK, and I get people come from Europe as well, and occasionally America, to come and train with me over 2 days. And this year I thought I'd make it a bit different. I'd add in a few extra instructors. So I've got like the godfather of JKD, Bob Breen, coming to teach. I got Phil Norman, the founder of Ghost, and a load of other stuff coming to teach. I've got David Breed, who's a trainer of numerous world champions, going to teach, and myself. And we do like 3 hours each over the weekend, and it's good. It's a good seminar.
Are there still places?
There's 6 places left.
Oh, there you go, guys. So you might get one if you want one. 6 places left.
54 sold, 6 left.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't miss out, guys. Don't miss out. If you want one of those last 6, get in touch. Cool. Yeah. So apart from your workshop, what else have you got? Anything going on you want to share, or?
I'm looking forward to Gordon's next event. He's doing this
forgot about that
mastermind thing. Are you going to that?
I probably. I've got that much going on at the minute. I'm like, what am I doing What am I doing today? Oh, right, okay.
You look like you need a good couple of hours kip, dude.
Well, I'm just keeping busy. I mean, I did the recording this morning with my son for this podcast. So it's all kind of a little bit back to front. When you listen to this, you'll have already heard the bit that I'm talking about now. So I did that this morning. We've been doing all the filming for the. In fact, all the camera gear is still all stacked up over there. So I'm not putting it away yet, and the lights and everything, because we've been doing all the filming for my next course for the online kicking for the kids content.
That's Kids Drills one, yeah?
Yeah, that's going really well, and my son's getting involved with that, and he's enjoying that. So I've broken my camera now. you might have to just. Oh no, there he goes, back up. Yeah, so I'm doing that, and then of course on top of that, I've got all the regular classes and the filming stuff as well. So,
so you need a break. Was it the bank holiday that killed it for you? Was it, or just?
Yeah, because I was still a little bit ill, and we went swimming, and the Dome in Doncaster, which is great. Yeah. So you don't do much swimming. You sort of like bob around in lukewarm water.
Yeah, filled with other people's pee.
Yeah.
That's why I'm feeling crap.
That's why I'm still up. No, it's all good. It was nice. It was relaxed in the sense that it was a switch off for 4 days from work.
Yes. Yeah.
Although I did actually sit and write an email, a mail shot out to my online course on the Saturday.
That's the thing you can do, though, isn't it? With that type of business, you could just, any 20 minutes you got free in a coffee shop somewhere, you can just bang out an email and see how it goes.
It was in that 40-minute window. You'll know this, when you hire the hotel room and the kids are asleep at that end of the room in their beds.
Yeah.
And you have that period where you can't move or breathe.
Yeah.
You can't, and they've just got to give them time to sleep. So it was in that little window where we had to get them to sleep. I just sat and did an email. It's great.
There you go.
Leveraging my time.
Oh, that's what you're doing. It's exactly it. That's the whole thing with the online stuff. You can do it anywhere at any time. You can do it in the bath. You can do it when you're in the hotel room. You can do it when you're traveling. You can do it when you're sat in a coffee shop. It's totally flexible, which is why I really like it, because I don't really like rules, and having to be at places at a certain time does my head in. I just like the flexibility to do what I like when I like, as most people do, right?
Yeah, totally. Cool. Right. Well, thanks as always for the catch up and the advice, and we will speak. Hopefully, this is on me. If not, well, hopefully this same.
In case you die.
Well, no, in case I just forget or get ill or take too much on.
I'll speak to you next week. Yeah. Get better.
Accountability there. I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Cheers, mate.